sports cars, the segment with quite possibly the most cult following is high-performance sport wagons. For years, the segment's been dominated by Audi and Mercedes-Benz, but now Porsche's entered the fold with quite possibly their most unique car to date. On this edition of the Targa Trophy Ride Check, we've got our hands on the eagerly awaited 2018 Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo Turbo. We are in the 2018 Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo Turbo, debuted in 2012 at the Paris Auto Show to huge fanfare. This is Porsche's first entry into the high-performance sport wagon sector. Of the few high-performance sport wagons that exist, they're really coveted as grails because you've got maximum utility with the ability to haul multiple people, haul cargo, all at speeds that rival most supercars. So for Porsche to now bring a car into that segment with this Sport Turismo, it's definitely quite an accomplishment and something that I'm sure is going to gain popularity as the car hits dealers and the public market. So this Panamera comes on the heels of the second generation of the Panamera. It has definitely been quite a hit as this new fresh design is a much stronger look than the Gen 1s. They've refined all the lines and, in our opinion, this is definitely the best looking version to date. And with that comes a completely 21st century interior, as the past generation of Panamera was a little bit primitive. This is the future of Porsche with a very digital, forward-facing interface. Performance-wise, this is a turbo Porsche. We've got a twin-turbo V8 power plant, 550 horsepower, 567 pound-foot of torque. So you've got a really linear power feel when you get on the gas, which really, blurs the lines between a turbocharged car and naturally aspirated feel, which is one of the things Porsche's really at the top of its class for. It's going to be really interesting to see how this Sport Turismo fares with the consumer audience, this high-performance sport wagon with all the utility that it offers. There's a performance here that's really on another level for the segment.
We'll sweat the technique.
So today on Targa Trophy Ride Check, we have something a little bit different from the people at Porsche. It is a car that feels like a sports car from the moment that you throw it into a corner. It sounds great, it backfires, it spits and pops. You have a dial on the wheel, which is straight out of the 918, which is super convenient, and you can just instantly take your car from the comfortable settings, Sport, Sport Plus. You also have another individual setting, which allows you to mix and match the different levels and create a custom driving environment that's tailored to you, which is pretty cool. And something that a lot of cars do these days, but the fact that it's a setting and it's so accessible and it does change the car so dramatically is a really cool thing that Porsche's done. It's a wagon, it does 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds or so. God, this thing is quick. It feels great, it pulls like hell. It's a twin turbo V8, you don't feel any lag from that. It's a car that's very nimble and very responsive, and you're able to drive it quickly and it doesn't feel like it's hindered by the fact that it's a wagon, which is pretty remarkable because I feel like a lot of the cars in this segment are affected by their size and how heavy they are, and they show it in a way that isn't flattering. Even though some of them have pretty big power, they aren't that quick or enjoyable to drive through a canyon, where this is a car that you can drive spiritedly just as easily as you can to the market. And it rewards you for that in proper handling and great responses and just an overall enjoyable drive. I don't have any complaints about this car, which is something that isn't foreign to me dealing with Porsche products, as they always seem to hit home runs with every car that they attempt. The only thing that I could probably criticize them for is that it's a little too expensive for what it is. And that's not at all to say that this is a bad car. I just think that when you compare it to the other cars out there, which, don't get me wrong, I think this is a better car. I don't know if I can justify a car that when configured is somewhere in the neighborhood of $170,000, but that's neither here nor there. If you can afford it, this car is badass as hell, and one that I would definitely enjoy driving on a daily basis.
people that aren't too familiar with this high-performance sport wagon genre kind of wonder how practical these cars really are. And the reality is these cars really offer possibly the best all-around performance utility equation you could ever ask for. They're extremely comfortable to drive, they're extremely quick, they're extremely utilitarian. Whatever you imagine you can do with an SUV, you can do with these sport wagons. All in a package that rivals the best high-performance sports cars on the market today. Now granted, these come at a premium from a price point standpoint, but if you have the money, it's 100% worth every penny from the standpoint of what you're able to do across the board, from a fun factor scenario to a practicality scenario. I don't know what more you could want out of a car that delivers so much. Wrap all that up into a package that's the best looking Panamera to date, and you've got yourself a car that's 100% Targa Trophy approved. What's up everyone, we are back. Thanks for watching another edition of the Targa Trophy Ride Check. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to stay up to date on all our latest videos when they come out. We've got a lot of new content coming at you in the coming weeks. And be sure to like and share all our videos to help keep the flow of content coming.